Ever feel like you're just like drowning in information?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make a decision, but you end up just frozen.
Yeah.
Well, today we are diving into some wisdom from Ray Dalio. This is the guy who built Bridgewater, right?
Yeah, Bridgewater Associates.
Into a global powerhouse.
Huge.
Huge. And it turns out he's got some pretty, I think, unique principles for just cutting through all that noise, all that information, and making decisions that you can actually feel good about, even when things get messy, which, let's face it, they
do.
They always do.
And Dalio's no stranger to messy. I mean, that's what's so fascinating about his approach, is this like brutal honesty about reality, even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he calls it embracing reality. Like, he kind of built his whole decision-making framework around it.
So you mean like his decision-making triangle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll admit, that sounds a little textbooky.
It does.
So walk me through this. What's the magic inside this triangle?
So picture this. 3 questions. 1, what do you actually want? Like, what do you really want?
Okay.
2, what's really true? And I don't mean what you wish was true,
Right.
but like the cold, hard facts.
Okay.
And then 3, how do you connect those dots?
Okay.
How do you bridge the gap between that goal and the reality that you're dealing with?
Okay. I mean, that IIS, pretty straightforward when you put it like that. But isn't that just goal setting? Like, I write down what I want, I make a plan, and then boom, done.
See, but that's where most people get tripped up. It's the what's really true part
Oh, okay.
that trips everybody up.
Yeah.
So let's say your dream is to open a bakery, right?
Amazing.
Amazing. Who doesn't love a bakery?
Right.
But are you really ready to be elbow deep in flour at 3 a.m. every day?
Yeah.
Dalio would be like, don't just dream about the sourdough, Confront the reality of the baker's life.
Oh, yeah, that reality check hits different at 3 a.m.
It does.
So it's about aligning your actions with the truth, even if it means like adjusting your initial plan.
Exactly. And that ties into another one of his core principles, which is this whole walking the talk thing. Like, he is big on authenticity.
Yeah.
If your actions don't match your goals, people are going to see right through it.
Yeah, it's like that Maya Angelou quote. She said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Right.
And I think if you're not being genuine,
Yeah.
people can sense that inconsistency.
Totally. And that erosion of trust, that can be so tough to rebuild.
For sure.
And Dalio actually argues that acknowledging your inconsistencies, even publicly, it's better than trying to just like sweep it under the rug.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, that takes guts. Okay, so we've got to get real with ourselves about our goals. We've got to be genuine in our actions. Now, what about when things inevitably go wrong? Because let's face it,
yeah.
they will.
They do. And that's where Dalio's perspective on failure is actually really refreshing.
Okay.
He famously said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Now, have you ever stopped to think about what you truly fear?
That's an interesting question, I think, honestly. That stuck feeling.
Yeah.
More than a specific failure.
And Dalio would probably connect with that. You see, he's terrified of boredom, of mediocrity. And that's what makes his perspective on failure kind of click, is that it's not an endpoint.
Right.
It's like a stepping stone.
So it's not just about accepting failure. It's about being brave enough to keep pushing beyond our comfort zones, even if it means
For sure.
messing up along the way.
Precisely. And when we inevitably hit those roadblocks, that's where seeking out diverse perspectives becomes super crucial. Dalio was notorious for surrounding himself with people who disagreed with him.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah.
He enjoyed being intentionally contradicted.
Yeah. Not necessarily enjoyed, but he understood the value of it.
Okay.
It wasn't about arguing, it was about challenging his own assumptions.
Yeah.
He wanted to see the blind spots, the things he might be missing.
That takes some serious self-awareness to be open to being wrong, even when you're, Ray Dalio.
Right. And that ties directly back to the what is true part of his triangle.
Oh, okay.
You can't make a good decision if you're clinging to some, biased view of reality.
Which leads us to the last piece of the puzzle here, which is knowing when to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Dalio, pretty decisive guy.
Yeah.
But even he emphasized the importance of sometimes saying, I don't know.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that you don't always need to have an opinion.
Right.
especially when you don't have all the information.
Got it.
Sometimes, admitting you don't know is the smartest, most honest thing you can do.
Wow. So to wrap this all up, Dalio is saying, get real with yourself. Be authentic. Embrace the stumbles. Seek out different views. And know when to say, I don't know enough yet.
Yeah.
It's about navigating the world with both curiosity and a healthy dose of humility.
I love that. And that, I think, is a recipe for not just success, but for a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
So as you move through your day, I'll leave you with this. Which of Dalio's principles resonated most strongly with you?
Ooh.
And how can you start applying it today?
That's something to think about.